I'm Katie.
And I'm Kay.
And you're listening to the Babes of Quinte podcast. By now you have realized we are big fans of Simple Desk. Simple Desk is your ultimate destination to streamline marketing and strengthen your business's brand.
Jenny, the visionary behind Simple Desk, took her commitment to business support a step further by creating Brazen, an event for women who dare.
This full-day experiential event on May 31st, 2024 is packed with networking, vendor booths, exciting giveaways, delicious food, and a speakers panel of incredible women entrepreneurs sharing their inspiring stories.
Tickets are on sale now. For all the details and to buy your ticket before they sell out, visit simpledesk.ca/brazen.
And make sure to follow Brazen on Instagram at brazen_women. The Family Dental Center is all about community support through fundraising and community involvement, and they are just as dedicated to nurturing a positive work atmosphere for their team.
Whether you've been fortunate enough to experience their positivity in person at their offices or witness their unwavering support and encouragement for one another on social media, you've had the privilege of glimpsing into their incredible teamwork.
FDC is not just a workplace, it's a supportive family committed to uplifting one another.
To learn more about the Family Dental Center team and stay up to date about all the great things they're doing, follow them on Facebook at Family Dental Center and Instagram at FDC Family. Diamond Physiotherapy, from the very beginning, set out to challenge traditional physiotherapy by reconnecting people with their bodies, both physically and mentally.
The team at Diamond Physiotherapy is dedicated to treating the whole person. They have the resources and tools to treat immediate injuries and often address the root cause.
They recognize that every client has unique goals and challenges. No matter what the challenge may be, they will create an individualized treatment plan using the services they offer, including physiotherapy, vestibular rehabilitation, and psychotherapy.
To learn more and get a treatment plan that works for you, visit diamondphysiotherapy.ca and follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Diamond Physiotherapy. Well, this is weird. It's just me today because Kay is sick. She's actually been out of the office since Wednesday. It's been quite lonely. And the other weird thing is this was also a solo interview for me because Kay had to go to Kingston that day on short notice. So it's just me, so I'm sorry you have to deal with that. But this is a super cool episode. It's with Jessica, the executive director of the Quinte West Youth Centre. I did mess that up a couple times during the episode. She's so passionate about what she does and the organization, but I'm going to let you hear it for yourself, so please enjoy this episode. Today we have a Quinte transplant in the studio who is making a positive impact on Quinte West. Jessica Coolen is the executive director of the Quinte West Youth Centre. She is originally from the Niagara Region and attended Brock University to complete a Bachelor of Arts in Child and Youth Services. She landed in Belleville in 2013 to complete the Child and Youth Worker Diploma. She is dedicated to the nonprofit sector and has experience supporting youth with housing, employment, and in foster care. Today we are going to learn about the history of the Quinte West Youth Centre, the programs they offer, and the importance of the organization in the community. Babes of Quinte, please welcome Jessica Coolen, the executive director of the Quinte West Youth Centre. My words aren't working today.
It's all good. It's all good.
Dry mouth happening. Thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you for having me. This is quite a pleasure to be here. It's definitely, my passion is bringing the awareness of what we do. And so I'm so excited to be able to dive in and talk about the huge impact that people are not aware that having this youth center brings.
I have to say, I didn't know there was a Quinte West Youth Center until you reached out and we started looking into it.
Yeah,
which I feel very bad about.
Don't feel bad. It's all good. It's it's quite unfortunately the norm.
Yeah.
We've been in operation for 12 years now.
2011, right?
Yes. October 2011, we officially opened doors.
Wow.
And it's just been like the hidden gem of the youth center that I'm trying to get rid of the hidden portion of.
Yeah, no more hidden.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a quick question first.
Yes.
What's your favorite potato chip?
My favorite barbecue.
Lay's?
Lay's
Okay.
barbecue is my favorite.
I accept that.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people say barbecue. That and ketchup we don't get a lot of.
No. Well, did you know ketchup is only Canadian, right? So where I grew up was actually in a town called Fort Erie. So we're on the border of Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
And it's so funny when I worked at Walmart during university and you could tell when they came from the States because they would just have a full cart of ketchup chips.
This is going to be an unpopular opinion. They're not that good.
No, I know. I agree.
I love all dress because they're also only Canadian.
Yeah.
But like ketchup, I can only eat like a few and then I'm over it.
Same. Yeah.
That's good. Good answer. So you grew up on the west side of Ontario, kind of?
Western. Yeah. I grew up in a border town.
Yeah.
We actually would watch the Buffalo News because it was more accurate for our weather than anywhere else.
Really?
Yeah.
Love that.
Right? Like moving here, like I was all about Fahrenheit. Like it took a while for me to get used to Celsius.
You were like almost American in a way.
Yeah.
Scary. Spooky.
Right? But like it was like even some people are like, you sound like sometimes people think I'm from
the States
because we did all our camping in the States. Like my parents.
Well, I guess it's just easy, and it's probably went over to shop and stuff.
Right?
Like when you're right there.
Yeah, like it was so easy because truly, like it would hit the border is clear 5 minutes to get into Buffalo.
Oh,
like yeah,
why not?
Right? Exactly.
It makes no sense. Just
right? Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. And then, okay, where's Brock University? Is that St. Catharines?
St. Catharines, yeah.
So is that close to where you were?
Yeah, it was about a 45-minute drive. It definitely was not the university I wanted to go to.
Where do you want to go?
I wanted to go to Nipissing in North Bay.
Why? Yeah. North Bay.
So my dad's best friend lives in a small town called Restoule.
Okay.
Of like 100 people. Cool. And his daughter was a year younger than me. So for a couple of summers when I was 11, 12, 13, I would go and stay the summer with them.
Oh, that's fun.
And I just fell in love with the area.
Yeah.
Like I was like, that's where I felt like I wanted to be. And so I was like, hey, I'm going to Nipissing. Like, that's going to be my dream school. But then I made a really bad deal with my dad. And
what was the deal?
So I'm an animal lover.
Yeah.
Not so much now because of kids. Your love for animals change when you have two little ones at home.
Yeah, I bet.
But at the time, like we didn't have any dogs anymore. Like they all had passed. And I just was like wanting to get an animal. And then I saw a hedgehog. I was like, oh, sweet. Like, those are cool. Like, I want one.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. So I said to my dad, because he kept saying no to every single animal. Like,
rude. Such a dad move.
Right?
The worst.
Right? But I was the baby girl.
Yeah.
And so I said to my dad, I was like, listen, if you let me get a hedgehog, I'll live at home and go to Brock University. Next day I had a hedgehog.
Ooh, that is a bit. How old were you when that happened?
I was 18.
So you were like literally about to go to university.
Yeah. And
what a deal.
Right? Like literally when I tell that story now, I was like, I should have asked for a trip.
Yeah,
like,
maybe something else.
Something more than just
a little bit bigger than a hedgehog. Did you like the hedgehog?
I did.
Okay.
I named him Knuckles.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Like it was, he wasn't very friendly. Like, because I also felt bad. Like with hedgehogs, you should get them when they're very, very young.
Oh, to like socialize
them, blah, blah, blah. But then when I heard the story about this one hedgehog, they're like, he's been here for a couple months.
Like me.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I need to give him a home. And I took him and
I adopted a dog and I was maybe not in the best headspace and I thought this dog was going to fix my life.
Oh no.
And I convinced Jeanette said yes. And then we got a 3-legged dog and he is a terror. Oh, no. So I feel you. I was like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have done that. Now he's going to live forever.
Yeah. I feel you.
Oh, pets, man. But I guess Brock's good. I know some people who went to Brock.
It surprisingly is a big, so on my honeymoon, we went to Moncton, New Brunswick.
Okay.
And I was wearing my Brock University sweater. And I was like, oh, this guy was like, oh, I went to Brock University. And I was like, what are the chances?
Yeah.
Like,
who does that?
Right?
Like, what's going on in St. Catharines?
I have no idea. I do know they have a really good teaching program.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah. I think I knew that.
Yeah. So, but otherwise, I don't know what else it is about St. Catharines because it's not.
No, it's not like I would be like, yeah, St. Catharines, but I also wouldn't be like, yeah, North Bay. So maybe we're different on that one.
Well, North Bay, I like it was because it's a small, it's northern, it's small, it's pretty.
Honestly, if Kay was here, she's from Timmins, so she's all about northern small towns.
Yeah.
So funny. I went to Queens. I really didn't go that far from home.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I just drank a lot.
See, I wish I stayed. So, because I went to Brock, I stayed home. I lived at home because it was cheaper. But I really do wish I lived on campus because I definitely did not have the university experience.
No, it's very different. I do thank my parents for being like, no, you're not. Go live there. And it was a time. And like some of my best friends are my roommates.
Right?
Yeah. So it is definitely an experience, like going to school, but man, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Can't imagine kids now. They're all like COVID babies, like trying to navigate school the worst.
Yep.
Did you go right into when your first year, did you go into child and youth worker that program?
Yes. So I did the 5th year of high school because
Victory Lap.
Yes, I did the Victory Lap because I honestly had no idea what I was going to do. My parents were never.
We are big believers. I believe everyone should take either a gap year or do an extra year. You don't know what you want to do at 17, 18.
No, exactly, right? Because I did it, and like my parents were one of those people who like pushed me to figure out. Good. So but sometimes I wish they kind of did push me because like I truly even when I went into university, I still had no idea.
Yeah.
I just knew I wanted to work with children and youth because so when I was 18, that Victory Lap, I decided to volunteer at Big Brothers Big Sisters to kind of get like a feel.
Yeah.
Fell in love.
Okay.
So that's how I knew that's where I was going to go.
Yeah.
I just didn't know. So I always thought I was going to be a teacher.
Oh, that makes sense. That's like another way to work with children.
Right. But I didn't do like the teacher route because then at that time that was back in oh my gosh, this is aging me, 2010, I think. And there's no jobs for teachers.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, I'll just do because it's the child and youth studies program that I did.
Do a lot of universities have that?
No, and they're all different. Like there was one university, I think in Guelph, that I applied to, and it was more of a science base.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't have the science.
More like psychology or actual science.
Like actual science. Like I had to have all these science credits, and I was like, oh, I don't
get it, but okay.
Yeah. And then Nipissing had one. Obviously, Brock University had one. And those were more like the social service aspect. So I went to Brock, and I was definitely one of the fortunate ones that didn't switch my, oh my God, I forget the words, leaving.
Like your, what is that called? Your major?
Yeah, my major. That's the word.
Well, you stuck it. A lot of people switched out of it.
Yeah, a lot of people do normally. I guess that's like the thing is that people always say to me, oh, expect to not stay with that major. Like you're going to end up switching out.
Is it just because it's such a taxing career? Or
I don't know. I think what it is more of finding, are you going to find employment? Like you hear about the people who go for history in university.
My brother took classics. He's a firefighter now.
Right?
Do not use that.
Yeah.
Don't take classics, kids. Just going to tell you now.
Yeah. So that's, I think that's where that idea comes from, is that you want to try to go with an education that's going to actually get you a job.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. Right. There's so many people out there that I truly, if it wasn't for me moving and getting, because I went to college afterwards.
Did you finish your university degree and then go right to college?
Yeah. So I didn't do my honors because after finally in my 3rd year, I was like, okay, so what am I going to do with this? And you don't get placements in university.
Yeah.
I think I did a 2-week. There was one in my 2nd year. They were like, okay, go do a 2-week stint somewhere, and I ended up just going to my elementary school because I had no idea where else to go.
Yeah.
I had no help navigating the type of jobs that were out there to be working with children and youth. So then I decided, there was one girl in my class, and she's like, yeah, I'm going to graduate and go to college now instead. I was like, oh, that's because college, then you get the hands-on.
Yeah.
And then I also, too, in my 3rd year, I was like, enough is enough. I can't stay in this town anymore.
Yeah. You've been there a while.
Yeah. I was over it. And then my aunt actually moved up this way because she got a teaching job. She works for the Hastings Prince Edward School Board. And she was like, there's a college here, eh? And I was like, oh. And I'm really close to my aunt. Like, she's like my second mom. Like,
I love that.
She's only 14 years older than me. And when she was living back home, like, I was with her every single weekend. Like,
yeah.
So I was like, oh, she's like, you can come live with me. I'm like, deal.
Perfect.
Done.
Yeah.
And so I applied for Loyalist and then moved, and I lived with her and her husband and 4 little ones at the time. I will never have 4 children.
No. My sister-in-law has 4 children.
It's like,
I'm like, you okay? You doing okay? Mm.
Well, apparently after once you have 3, and then like it's no different. Like after you have 3, it's all like
no.
Yeah,
no,
I know, right?
I don't agree. That seems crazy. Oh goodness.
Yeah,
children.
So, right? Yeah, they're so fun.
So fun.
I love my children. FYI, I do love them.
I like other people's children for the most part. And then I'm like, I don't want any.
Yeah. So then I ended up at Loyalist for the Child and Youth Worker program, and then it truly was from there. It was from my placement, because you get a placement every semester.
Oh wow!
And then from there, I got to try everything. So I tried the school, realized like I'm actually not a big fan of the education system. Mm-hmm. And then I also did it was with little kids, and I was like, I don't
Not
actually really enjoy. Like it was hard because I'm not creative. Mm-hmm. I don't play even with my children now. Like I don't play with them. Like I just don't have that mindset. And then I got a placement at the youth center.
Oh.
And fell in love.
And that would have been near the beginning of the youth center.
Exactly. So I was 2014. So they were just getting into being 2 years. Mm-hmm. And I fell in love with that atmosphere. Wow. I fell in love working with teens. I was able to have actual conversations with them. Yeah. And they're so much harder to build a rapport with. And when I was able to do that, I was like, oh, this is it was so rewarding. Yeah. And then from there, then my last placement I got, I did at the Transition House for Youth Hub. Oh, okay. And then I got a job out of that. And then I've just from there been working within the community with teens. And then in March of 2018, there was a job opportunity at the youth center, and I obviously applied for that right away because I still loved that place. Yeah. And then
were you still working with them at all, or were you just?
So I didn't. It's hard to volunteer. Yeah. When you are
already working,
and then I was working a lot of 2 jobs because it was hard to get full time. Yeah. So I was constantly working to be able to pay bills
for life.
Right. But no, it was still the same executive director at the time. So she knew me, and she was she said to me after, she's like, I was so happy that you applied. So I got the job, and I just 5 years now haven't left. And
what does executive director mean? What does that role entail?
So I am the person in a nutshell that keeps the doors open by finding the money to pay for
that's
everything.
A big deal.
It is a big...
How's your stress? You seem very joyful. So,
I will admit it is stressful, especially being a young mom. Yeah, it is. It's stressful. I go to work. Now there's 5 of us. It was always just 3 of us. So now I have 4 staff and myself. Trying to make sure that we have money to pay for staff is a lot. But it's always worked out. It's always
because so is it a nonprofit?
Nonprofit, yeah.
So that means that all your funding comes from outside organizations?
Yes.
Is that how that
we
works?
are not government. Some nonprofits are associated with government ministries. We are not. We are only guaranteed money on a yearly base. So every year I have to apply and apply and apply.
Good for you. That's a journey.
It is. Yeah. And but we've been doing well because we are proving that we're needed. What's great about us being 12 years is now I have a couple success stories of how we've been because one of our visions is that our youth will become contributing healthy community members when as adults. And I now can say we did it.
Yeah.
And it is.
I have goosebumps.
Yeah. I'll tell you two of our success stories because they're pretty big deal. Right now, and they're both youth that I supported when I did my placement there.
What a good full circle moment.
Right. Like, it's pretty amazing. And like, I don't try to like toot my own horn, but like,
toot it. Do it.
Yeah,
do it.
It's because of my connect, like me being there for them. And so the one is our fundraising coordinator, or I should say her full title, the fundraising and donors relations specialist, Haley.
She's also into music.
Yes, she is.
I was reading all the bios last night.
Yeah, she has a beautiful voice. Wow. I first met her when she was 12 years old, coming to the youth center. She was one of the ones I built a really good rapport with, supported her through her music. She gave me, when she was singing at 12 years old, goosebumps.
Wow.
Like, her voice is so powerful and so beautiful. And she went to Durham College, got her business degree, and now works for us.
Wow, good.
So
That's so fun.
Right? Like, so I'm like, right there, it shows. And she, like, because of, like, it's just because of the connections and the resources and everything that the youth center brings and gives to these youth. She's thriving now and working for us because she says, like, the youth center has such a big impact. She wants to give back. But this next one, I always cry.
Okay. I'll probably cry. Okay. I'm ready.
So the youth that we support all youth. All youth between the ages of 10 and 18 can come to our center. It doesn't matter their background, doesn't matter their financial status, nothing. Like, we support everyone. So this youth who came, she grew up with not the greatest childhood. She was pulled out of her home by CAS. Grandfather got custody. So she lived with her grandfather, her and her siblings. And you could just, like, the moment you looked at her, like, she just had that wall and like that demeanor, like, don't mess with me.
Yeah.
Like the F-bomb was like every other word in her mouth. She was just like a rough kid. And I remember, like, the first time I had to give her a strike, because we did strikes. Like, if you swore or went against our rules or whatever, you would get a strike. And then on the third strike, you'd be sent home for the night. And she swore in front of me. I had to give her a strike, and I swear the look she gave me, I thought she was going to go key my car. Like, I was scared. And if you're listening, I'm so sorry. I wasn't, like, I'm not scared of you anymore, but, like, at the time, you scared me. But like, I went up to my supervisor at the time, and I said to him, I was like, oh my God, like, this is like, it didn't go well. I was like, I did it. I did what you told me to do, and it didn't go over well. So my supervisor pulled me and her into the office and, like, just said to her, like, listen, you need to respect Jess. She is a staff member here, like, and just had that honest conversation with her. And I don't know what it was. I honestly cannot tell you, because I still don't even know what it was about that moment, but that moment changed things.
Wow.
And then I just remember couple days, weeks, I don't know how long, but just afterwards, karaoke was huge at the time at the center. And so we used to have someone, like, on the computer, make sure whatever songs they're singing was clean. Yeah. So I'm sitting at the computer doing that role, and she starts singing Taylor Swift. Now, I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan.
Big Swiftie, okay.
Huge. Like, I tried so hard to get tickets this year because I was like, oh, I gotta go see her. It's been so long. So there's this youth, she's singing Taylor Swift, which I was like, oh, so I'm sitting in the chair, swaying, dancing, singing, and she grabs my arm and pulls me up to sing with her. And I knew at that moment that her wall came down. Yeah. And I made an effort, such a huge effort, to continue to get that wall down, build that rapport. And so that summer, I got a summer position at Career Edge doing their Summer Jobs for Youth program. Yeah. And it was a program for youth who have never worked. So I went to this youth and I was like, listen, you're 16. You need to start gaining some experience. Come in. So she did, because I was running it. So she knew she had a person she could feel safe and trust. And she wanted to try community living. And I was like, I don't know. But I'm a huge believer that if a youth wants to try something, you have to let them try, especially after this experience, because it turns out she fell in love working
Oh, wow.
with that type of clientele. And when I would do visits, like I could physically see that this is her place. Like this is what she needs to do. So from there, she went to college, got her DSW diploma, which is developmental social worker diploma, and is now working and thriving in the community. Like,
So they are all full circles. Like,
yeah. And she, so I remember recently reaching out because I was like, you know what, we need to start sharing these stories in the community. And she said to me, she's like, Jess, I don't know what I would have done or where I would be right now if it wasn't for the youth center.
that's so powerful.
Right? Like she truly says it's because of that youth center, having that safe space, having the resources, the supports, the mentors in her life got her to where she is today.
Yeah.
And so like, that's just,
Wow.
yeah. It's
My heart.
and so right there shows the youth center is needed.
Yeah.
We are needed for our community because we are helping these kids stop that cycle of being on welfare, being low income, being in poverty. Like we are helping them. We have another youth who is now 20 and we didn't even know if she was going to graduate high school.
Oh, really?
Like she had she was bullied a lot, low self-esteem, didn't want to be at school. And I remember every day she would come in and I'd be like, did you go to school today? And she's like, no. I was like, well, why not? Like, we got to try to, like, she truly was like, it was hard to get her into school. And then COVID hit. So like she was able to start skipping more. And
yeah, it was like easier.
yeah. And, but like I kept pushing and kept not so much pushing, but like talking to her, supporting her, getting her to realize like the importance of going to school. And now she's in college. Like she's going to be an ECE. And we like on her day of graduation, because it was still COVID, they couldn't have people come to the school, but she walked to the youth center in her graduation gown to get a picture with me.
Oh, that's gonna make me cry. That one got me. Oh my gosh.
I have that picture up, like, and I'm so proud of her. Like she, like, it's just these kids, lots of them have great supports. They have great parents, but lots of them also don't have that support system from their parents because their parents are struggling too, or they don't have parents. Like we've helped youth move out at 16 because they were in an abusive household. And so we help them get out and we help them find a safe space to live. And like we do so much. Like truly, my program coordinator, Allie, said it the best the other day. She's like, what do we not do?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's so true. What do we not do? We don't do nothing. Like we don't, there's literally nothing that can go under that category because we do everything.
You'll do everything.
And we go above and beyond for these kids. Like we have a youth who just turned 17 on Sunday. Never had a birthday party before. So we're hosting a birthday party for her.
I love that.
Yeah. Like
we do everything.
And because we need these kids to see that they mean something, that they have a voice. Like that's the biggest thing I teach. Like when I'm talking to those kids, I'm like, if I can tell they're like, I'm like, use your voice. Say no to me. Like if you don't want it, like if I'm asking you to do something and you don't feel comfortable doing it, just say no.
Yeah. I don't think anyone is taught that. Like what, especially from our generation, I think whether you're in a good family situation or not, you were not taught. You were like, just say yes and please the people.
Exactly. 100%. And that
it doesn't help anything.
No, it just makes people more like, no wonder why mental health is so big right now, because they're like, oh, you just gotta shove it under the carpet.
Just keep going. You'll be fine. I'm like, will I though?
Right? Like,
I don't think so.
Our favorite networking event is coming back on May 31st, 2024. Jenny, the founder of Simple Desk in Trenton, created the Brazen event to empower women in business to be authentic and unapologetically themselves.
Get ready for a bigger and bolder Brazen 2024, the full-day experiential event created by women for women, showcasing, inspiring, and connecting female entrepreneurs and working professionals from all around the Bay of Quinte.
It's a full day of networking, support, delicious food, giveaways, vendor booths, and an inspiring panel of female entrepreneurs sharing their stories.
Tickets are on sale now. To learn more about Brazen 2024 and to buy your tickets before they sell out, Visit simpledesk.ca/brazen and make sure to follow Brazen on Instagram at brazen_women.
We'll be there, so we hope to see you there too. You already know that the Family Dental Centre provides top quality care in a stress-free environment and offers a range of dental services using the latest technology.
But did you know that they are deeply committed to giving back to the community and creating a healthy work environment for their team?
We love watching FDC support the community. They organize initiatives like Free Dental Day, where they provide dental treatment to those in need. You can spot their team at various local fundraising events across the Bay of Quinte.
Dr. Yasmin and her whole team are dedicated to fostering a positive and supportive work environment. They do this by celebrating victories, holding dedicated staff meetings, hosting staff parties, and consistently being there for one another.
It's more than just a workplace, it's a family. To learn more about the Family Dental Centre team and stay up to date about all the great things they're doing, follow them on Facebook at Family Dental Centre and Instagram at FDC Family. Life can be messy, and dealing with chronic pain, pelvic discomfort, muscle weakness, or mental illness can take a toll. Sometimes it takes a team effort to not just survive, but thrive.
At Diamond Physiotherapy, their approach is all about education. They're constantly expanding their knowledge and skills to ensure their clients receive solutions that provide them with more than just temporary relief.
Recognizing the significance of treating the whole person for overall wellness, Diamond Physiotherapy offers a wide range of services. These include physiotherapy, pelvic health physiotherapy, vestibular rehabilitation, pediatric physiotherapy, psychotherapy, and pre- and postnatal treatment.
They're not just about generic treatments. They're about creating an individualized treatment plan that works for you. With their knowledge, skills, and resources, they'll be by your side every step of the way, helping you become your best self.
Take the first step in your physical and mental wellness and reach out to Diamond Physiotherapy at 55 South Pinnacle Street in Belleville and at diamondphysio.ca.
Can you tell me about some of the core programs? Clearly you do everything, but I know there's a couple core programs.
We have we have programs that we'll always have in place because those are the needs. So how we work as a youth center is we focus on our youth and we find out what their needs are, where the supports are needed. And some of our core programs are focused on food insecurity.
Yes.
So we feed the kids every night a healthy, nutritious meal, plus we provide healthy snacks. In 2022, we served 5,149 meals and snacks.
Wow.
Yep.
Like over the year.
Over the year. And to remember, we're only open 4 days a week. So we're not even open 7 days. We're open 4 days a week and we served. In 2021, we were only open for 66 days of the year because of COVID and lockdowns. We served over 24,000 meals and snacks in 66 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that right there shows that. So that is our most popular. That is our most needed program.
Well, I think too, literally, I had a mentee be at the grocery store just as someone who's in a place that can buy, have the privilege of being able to afford groceries at this point in time. I was still pissed at how much the groceries cost.
Right.
So
yeah,
that is definitely a needed program.
Yes. Some of our other programs are our mental wellness. So mental health, again, COVID, isolation. Teens do not do well interacting with just their families.
No, they don't.
Their friends are their top priority right now. And so we have a mental wellness program and we have a staff member. Through the funding, we were able to hire someone to focus just on that program because it's such a big program to run. So we do mental wellness activities of some sort every day, whether it's building self-care kits, doing some kind of like coping mechanism, something. We're always focusing on their mental health, mental wealth. And we also were able to recently bring in a psychotherapist.
Oh, wow.
To offer group sessions. Yeah. And
my face is like, holy.
Yeah. And it went so well that she's coming back in the new year and we're going to just offer it consistently.
Yeah.
It's free for the kids. We are paying her, but she's giving us such a fantastic deal. Like it's amazing. But these kids are needed. Like they need these sessions, like these, like counseling. Like So we do that. We LGBT.
Yeah, Spectrum.
Our Spectrum program is another big one. Over 50% of our youth identify in that community. So they meet once a week. They come every day, but we do focus once a week on just them, and no one else can be in that room.
Oh, that's
nice. They do, some days they just watch a movie. Some days they just chat. But they also always they focus on what's going on in the world that's related to the LGBT. They do check-ins, and we also are very open to if a youth comes and they're like, I don't really go by my birth name. Like, I feel more comfortable being so-and-so. And so that's what their name is. Like, we're a safe space for them.
Oh, wow. That's very important in this time.
It is so important. One thing that is really important for people to know is that we don't push our own ethics. We don't push our own beliefs. We are non-judgmental.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what's going on. If that youth is so-and-so, or if that youth is, we don't believe in vaccinations, or like, we believe in God, or no, we don't believe in God. Like, it doesn't matter at the youth center.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Yeah.
We just are here for them.
You're just a safe space.
Yeah. Like,
that's really important.
Very, very. It's so important because these kids need to know, because they're judged.
You're everywhere.
Right?
Everywhere.
Like,
it's horrible.
And it doesn't matter whether they're part of the LGBT, doesn't matter whether, because like we learned during COVID that we had some anti-vax people. And we're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like, the one thing we do is we just educate. Vaping is a big thing right now too, right?
God.
So we just make sure.
I have this thing with vaping where I think if kids vape, they should have to smoke a whole pack of cigarettes, because it is not as delicious. They're like, it's good. I'm like, how about you smoke a whole pack of cigarettes and then tell me how you feel about this situation?
Right? Yeah.
It is disgusting.
Yeah. But we educate them. And we make sure they understand that there's no research on the long-term effects of vaping right now. Like, so that's what we do. We just educate them. We make sure they have all the facts, all the information. And like, our facts and information comes from public health, or like, we make sure the research and the information we're sharing is legit information, not just like some person on Facebook saying it, right? Like,
my mom's friend said, it doesn't matter.
No. And so that's I think why. And like, these kids, when they come, they want to be there. They don't have to be there. If they want to leave, we're like, okay, bye. Like, and then especially for our younger ones, like, sometimes parents are like a little hesitant about that, and we just make sure, like, if the kid's leaving, like, we'll say like, oh, does your mom, does your dad, like, or like, does your guardian know where you're going? Like, that we'll do that. But like, otherwise, like, we teach them that independence, and we're just like, okay, be safe. Like,
that's great. Independence is very key, I think, for children,
especially like now. Like, the term helicopter parents is big, because again, I think it's because of how our generation was raised, and now there's so much more scary stuff happening in the world.
Yeah, and I just, a previous guest just told us, like, we're taking in information at such a rate. Like, kids are taking in information so rapidly now that even, like, I'm 28, but even when I was, 10 to 18, we weren't getting information that fast. Like, Instagram wasn't as big. Now with TikTok, you're just seeing, they're getting so many things, and it's not necessarily real, or all these,
and you wonder why mental health is so bad.
It's like crippling. It's wild.
It's absolutely wild. So that's what's so great about us, is that a lot of these times, so we actually just had a dad come in yesterday, and he was like, I have a 15-year-old son glued to his phone, and he needs to socialize more. I'm like, bring him here. And I said, I was like, we have free Wi-Fi. Like, that is a big thing. Like, kids love that we have free Wi-Fi. And he's like, oh, I think I'll make him leave his phone at home when he comes. I'm like, no. I'm like, you don't have to, because I can promise you, once he's been here for a couple of weeks, he won't be on his phone. I'm like, you like, I see it. Like, I don't ever see our kids glued to their phone when they're here.
I think it's giving kids too, like, another option to like explore, like, creativity or different things happening in the world. It makes them step back and actually be social, like, actually talk to someone.
Right? Yes. Like, we social anxiety is probably the top thing that all these parents tell us about their kids.
Well, COVID,
Oh, exactly. Like, COVID made it 10 times worse. And I tell them, I'm like, sometimes you have to push them through the door. You have to, like, actually don't give them an option to come come to see. And that happened this summer. We had this one youth. They just moved here from Oshawa, and when mom brought him in, he was like, I don't want to go to a daycare. This is a daycare. And I said to him, I was like, dude, I promise you have the choice to leave. I'm like, just give us a chance. Let's just watch and look and see. And he ended up wanting to stay for an hour by himself to check it out. And now he's a regular. But I do tell parents something. You have to force them through the door that first time, because it's scary. It's nerve-wracking. Like, it's like, I don't like going to do things by myself for the first time either. Like,
no, it's terrifying.
Yeah. But so you just have to help them that first time, and then we will take it from there. Like, we know what is needed and what to do. And I'm like, you don't have to worry. Like, it'll be okay. Then, sometimes we don't get kids to come back, which is okay as well. But it's very rare that ever happens.
Yeah, but at least they know you're there, right? Exactly.
Like, we right now have over 275 kids signed up.
Wow.
Now, these are kids over the years that have signed up. This year, from January to the end of September, we have supported a unique number of 150 kids.
Is that like the highest?
No. I anticipate by the end of the year that we'll be closer to over 200 kids have walked through that door just this year.
Yeah.
And like I said, so they register. So until their 19th birthday, they are considered a member of the youth center.
Oh, so if they register once, then they're like registered.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're good. Like, we will do annual updates just to make sure phone numbers and everything are up to date. But yeah, like, once they're registered, they're a member. So we've had 275 kids register in the last couple of years. But yeah, this year alone, we have supported over 150 so far. And that doesn't even count for the numbers then of how many visits, how many times these kids have visited. So we get on average 20 to 30 kids a night. It fluctuates between that number. And I think we're sitting at over 2,200 visits so far this year. Like, we've already surpassed last year's number.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, like they come back, and it's very rare that we don't see them at least once a week.
Yeah.
And so
you said earlier that it doesn't matter of like your economic, like, I guess in my mind, a youth center is more for low income, but I think that's a stigma.
100%. It is. That is something that we're trying to end. It's hard. Yeah. It's hard because a lot of these kids who are more of the upper class, I guess you would say, they feel they don't need the supports because they have typically you would think those are the kids that have parents who support them, but those are still the kids, like they still have issues, like they still have mental health going on. Some of these parents who have money can sometimes mean they're not around ever. So these kids don't have parents to help them still. Like, so we are for everyone. It doesn't matter at all. Like, my stepdaughter is 12 and I bring her to the youth center. Yeah. Like, and I like to think in my household that, like, we're giving her a fantastic home when she's with us and that we're loving and supportive. But that doesn't mean she doesn't need the youth center still. Yeah. Like, when my kids are old enough, I'll be dragging their butts to that youth center as well. Because it's not even just about what's going on in their life. It's also opening their eyes to see what else is happening out in the world. Because majority of our youth are low income, or even if they have parents who have good jobs, there's still food insecurity happening in their homes. Like, I'll admit, so I'm an executive director. I have a good job. My husband owns a business. Like, he paints, like, makes good money. Yeah. And I still struggle every week getting groceries. Yeah. Trying to figure out, okay, like, right now I'm waiting. I need Friday to come so I can.
Right. You're like, when am I getting paid? So you can budget accordingly.
Yeah. Like, and so I think but because we do have good jobs, people think, oh, they're fine. Oh, my kid doesn't need that because we're fine. But it's just like, no, like, that's not what this is about.
Yeah, and it's bigger, I guess, than just the financial aspect because they're getting, like, skills and learning things and getting different support. Yeah. And sometimes families, even if they're supportive, it's still, it can be hard on you and there's a lot of pressure. So it's just a safe, encouraging space for them to use.
Because we do not only do we do all these great programs, but we do life skills. Like with our meal program, if a kid is interested in cooking, we take them down and teach them.
Oh, wow.
And so we're teaching those skills to them. We volunteer back in the community. Like when COVID hit, things kind of changed. Excuse me. And so now we volunteer. We're getting volunteer opportunities happening once a month. And I'm telling my staff that we're packing up all the kids, whoever's there, and going out and volunteering back.
That's so great.
Yeah. Like teaching them about the importance of and like how good it feels to give back. But then also too, we're helping the kids get their community hours in high school. But like we're doing stuff like that too with them, that we're not like, we're trying to open their eyes and seeing what else is available out there. We do in the summertime, we do field trips. So this past summer, we did a camping trip.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we took the kids because a lot of the kids were like, we've never gone camping before.
Yeah.
So my staff approached me and they're like, listen, can we do this? I'm like, hell yeah. I'm like, I grew up going camping all the time. Like, and if I said to them, I was like, we just have to put in some life skills and
then it's a program.
Exactly. Like, I'm like, teach them some survival skills and have fun. And it was like the best thing that's ever happened. And we did it too, where it was pay what you can for the families. Like a lot of times with our field trips, there will be a cost associated just to help cover some of it. But for our camping trip, we got enough sponsors to cover the whole cost.
Wow. Like community sponsors.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we had, so we made it free for them. And some of the kids still, like the parents still gave towards it. But yeah, like, and we're going to do it again next year.
That's cool.
Yeah. And we just, like I said, we do everything for these kids. Like we do whatever is needed. We're there for them.
Where is it located in Quinte West?
So we're located at 2 Wooler Road.
Okay.
Apparently, so I'm not from here, so don't quote me on this, but apparently it's considered Old Wooler.
Yeah, that seems correct.
Okay, perfect.
I think.
So we're right across from North Trenton Public School. That's usually the first thing I say.
Oh, okay.
If people know where that school is, they will know our building. But it's an awkward 5-corner street, sorry. And we're on the corner of Wooler and Store Street.
Okay.
And yeah, that's really the best way. It's so hard to explain, especially when I'm not from here.
Does this make sense?
Yeah.
No, I think that makes sense. So I'm sure people in Trenton, like Quinte West, will get that.
Yes, awesome. And it's it's an old building, 1951.
Oh wow!
It's a building that some of my staff are like, I think it's haunted. I was like, I have yet to, I don't believe it. I have yet to experience that.
Experience the spirit.
Yeah. But it's an old building that's starting to needing renovation. So we actually just recently got a shower installed. We
that's good.
Converted the one bathroom into a shower bathroom, and it gets used. Which is amazing. And now we recently got awarded $150,000 from the capital grant through Ontario Trillium Foundation to upgrade our kitchen.
That's exciting. I feel like because you're putting out so many meals, that's very important.
Yes. And our kitchen, this is one that I will swear on my children's life is the original 1951 kitchen.
Probably.
Yeah. It's so old. It's not even drywall walls. It's some weird...
stucco?
No.
Is it lath and plaster?
Yes, that one. Yeah.
It's probably horsehair in it.
Yeah. So we're literally fully getting it. And then there's also in the one wall, there's an old school vent and an air conditioner. And I'm like, can we just get rid of these? We don't use them. I'm pretty positive the one thing's broken.
Let's just get this.
I just want more cupboards, more storage. So I'm quite excited. So we're getting a new kitchen. Our floors need to get replaced because when we took over the building, we just put down the cheapest tiles because that's what we could afford at the time. And now we're our tiles are starting to come up. So I'm getting real commercial grade, strong, good flooring put in. So we're really excited for that. And then we had Home Depot come in last week and they redid. So our front foyer was just a cement floor, walls. That's it. They came in, they put vinyl flooring down, some coat hooks, a shelf.
I feel bad. I'm saying wow so much this episode, but it's just all amazing.
It's so amazing. And it just, again, makes those kids feel so fantastic. They're wow, people get to they care about us and that, and even for our kitchen, they screamed. Like they were so excited that we get a brand, because again, like, so for example, like that shower bathroom at the youth center is nicer than my own bathroom. Like, and so these kids, and like they feel like the center is their home. So they're like, wow, like this is so fantastic. Like they feel good having like this brand new bathroom, and now we're getting a brand new kitchen.
Yeah.
And now when they walk in, it doesn't look like a dungeon. Like,
do kids have to, how do they register? Like, can they just come in? Do they have to pre-register online?
there's no pre-registration. They just come in. Usually how it works is the first day they come in, we let them like hang out. We give them a registration form, and then they can't come back without it.
Okay.
Mostly so that if there's an emergency, we know who to contact. But that's, it's just, and then we do charge $5 a year. But even still, like if a family comes and says like, we can't really even afford $5, and we're like, okay, that's fine. Like it's not a big deal. But we charge that because it gives them that ownership over the center. And then they also too, with that, they'll get a membership card and they get discounts in the community. So they get 10% off drinks at the Grind and Vine, 10% off at Wanamakers. They also get free transportation through Quinte Access to and from the youth center.
That's great.
Yeah, so like they get a lot of benefits as well from being members. And I know I'm missing more.
But honestly, just the fact that the Quinte West community is just backing it and there is so magical.
Yes. And like we are one of the only non-denominational youth centers in the county, I believe.
What does that mean?
So that means like we're
not religious?
Not religious, like we have no affiliation with any ethics, religion, nothing. Like where a lot of the youth centers, they are ran by a church. Like the Frankfurt Youth Center, they're overseen by the churches in Frankfurt. Okay. And then there's Quinte Youth Unlimited, I think, or Quinte Unlimited Youth, or Unlimited Quinte. I get their name, I get it mixed up all the time. But they're also like
under the church. And
so we aren't. And that again is really important because it's not like we're not, the community, like the society is not as religious based anymore. And a lot of our youth, they've tried those other youth centers because some of them are open on Mondays where we aren't. And they're like, it wasn't our fit. And so it's really, we really make sure like they understand like we have some kids who are Wiccans and they believe in that, and it's just like, sweet, okay,
you
cool.
do you.
And so like we don't judge, we don't care, we don't push, like it is what it is.
You're just supporting. Oh, that's nice. You shaved your head at one point.
I did.
What was that for?
So last year I was talking with a friend and she's like, yeah, I've shaved my head before for a charity. I forget what charity she did, but I was like, that's cool. And then like at the time, like I still had like baby hairs growing in, like my hair was just driving me crazy. So I was like, you know what? I was like, why don't we shave my head for the youth center? I was like, let's raise money for the youth center. And we did. We raised $1,600.
Wow.
And I shaved my beautiful long locks that I miss so much now.
I love your hair. It's so cute.
I'm really happy. So if anyone hasn't seen me, I went and dyed my hair blonde, and I saw the musician pink. I was looking at some pictures, like, oh, I should try that.
Yeah, that's fun.
And so that's what I'm doing now. I'm like, you know what? I may as well, because I have informed my board I'm dedicated. But I will never shave my head again.
That's fair. Fair choice.
Did it once.
We're good.
Yeah. But I was like, you know what? Since I did it, I might as well try all the styles out there.
Why not? As it grows out, you can do whatever you want with it.
Exactly. So
it just shows you are so invested in the youth center.
It's because of the kids. Like I remember, so when we shaved it at our vendor show, some of our youth were there helping, and the one said, she's like, I'm so proud of you, Jess. I'm like, no. I was like, this is for you. Like, I am doing this to bring awareness, because like in the campaign we did for that is, so actually when you shave your head, the meaning of it is the struggles going through. Like anyone who shaved their head were ones who were struggling, who were in prison, or like, like the meaning behind a shaved head is the struggles that someone's gone through. And so that's why a lot of people are shaving your head for charity.
Yeah.
Like they're showing that like the struggles that these people are going through. But it's not just that. It's not just being sick. It's the youth who go home and don't have food. It's the youth who go home and don't have heat.
Yeah.
It's the youth who go home and don't have a home.
Yeah.
Like it's all these kids who are struggling, and people don't realize the struggles, the obstacles, the stuff that they have to overcome to be successful in life, because if not, then they're just going to fall in that rabbit hole. Like I've supported youth when I worked at Career Edge who are 5th generation welfare.
Yeah.
Like, and this kid, like he was the same age as me, because their youth were deemed up to 29.
Oh, wow.
Same age as me. And he's like, I want to get out of the cycle. I want to break that cycle.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, people don't realize that when these kids don't have those supports, they're stuck in that cycle. It takes a lot to break that cycle on your own.
Yeah.
So that's what we're here for.
That's so cool.
I'm
so happy we got to have you in. Your passion for it. Like you can just hear the passion you have for the youth center.
Oh, thank you. It's a dream job. It makes my day going to work, seeing those kids. And like, I don't interact with them as much now because I'm more during the day, and we're open Tuesday to Friday from 3 to 8. So I get to see them about an hour and a half, depending. And just the fact every time they walked by my door, hi Jess. And I'm like, and like I come out and talk to them, and like when I say bye, like I just yell, bye everyone, and you will hear every single kid say bye to me. I'm like,
oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, like it's honestly like if anyone wants to volunteer.
Yeah,
like,
I was just gonna ask, how can people support?
Yeah, we would love volunteers to come in and just be that mentor. Because that's the one thing I forgot to mention. We mentor these kids. Like we've never actually focused on that as like a awareness piece, but we mentor these kids. And so if anyone wants to make a difference, wants to have that impact, come to the youth center. Okay. And we will like there is a process, and we do require a vulnerable sector police check. And if it's clear, then we're like, yes, come every day if you want. Like because we have so many kids. Like one night we had 36 kids. 2 weeks ago, 36 kids come to our center, and I only had 2 staff on that night. Yeah. Like we need the bodies.
Need the volunteers. Yeah. Okay, we're going to link that in our show notes. Everyone, please go volunteer if you have the capacity. That would be lovely.
Yes.
I've had you for almost an hour, but what have I missed?
Our funding. Yeah. I think that would be really important to
tell us.
Yes. So as I mentioned earlier, we don't have any government affiliation, no ministry. We're not ministry regulated, nothing. So our big funders that we do get every year is United Way, Hastings, Prince Edward. Woo-woo!
Love them.
They have been amazing. They've supported us from day one. Brandy Hodge, actually the executive director at the United Way, was one of the original people that created the youth center.
Wow.
Yeah. So that is
Brandy.
it's amazing. The city of Quinte West does give us financial support every year as well. And then the K. Stafford Memorial Fund, I think is the proper terminology. They are run through the Trenton Memorial Hospital Foundation. Okay. They give us our grocery money every year.
Oh, good. Yes.
So that's how we're able to feed the kids every year. And then from there, we just apply for other grants. Like Walmart Canada has been fantastic. We've been getting at least $1,000 a year from them. The Hastings County recently supported us last year, and I've applied again to see if they will continue supporting us. The Alva Foundation is a brand new one that supported us that we're hoping to get again. And then fundraising. Our fundraising, monthly donors. So if anyone's out there and like, well, I can't volunteer, but I would love to give $25 a month. Yeah, we
do that
through CanadaHelps.org. We have a profile on there that you can donate monthly through. And then our fundraisers. So we have coming up very soon on December 2nd and 3rd is our Shop for a Clause vendor show at St. Paul's. In Trenton from 10 to 4. That is just admissions just by donation to us. So that's one way to support us. We do quarterly all you can eat pancake breakfasts.
I love it.
So December 15th from 9 to 1 at the youth center directly to Willow Road. It's $10 all you can eat pancakes with some
bacon or sausage and a drink. And then in the new year, follow us on our website and we'll have our whole year planned out with our fundraisers.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's fantastic. But we do need the community support and finance portion to keep our doors open.
Yeah.
If it's not for the money, we wouldn't be able to keep our doors open.
That makes sense.
Right?
As you guys have to get all the funding.
Yeah.
So it's a grind, I guess.
Yes. And so, but like I said, we have the stories, we have the data to show the need. Like we're busy. But these kids are coming with a smile on their face and half of them don't want to leave. They're like, oh, it's 8:00. We don't want to go. And I'm just like, I keep telling myself, I'm like, you guys have a life. Like,
yeah, you'll come back tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. So,
oh, that's great. You are literally, we wrote down a question, are you an angel? And I truly think you are, because you are doing some really important work for this community. So
you're going to make me cry.
You're doing great things.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you for coming. This was lovely.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we were able to do this. And I really appreciate you having us and listening to us, because there's not enough people that listen to our youth's voice.
Oh, yeah, we will always listen. We're big. They're our future, as like cliche as that is.
But it's true. They're the ones that are going to be working in those retirement homes when we are retired.
Yeah, exactly.
And so
treat them well now so they treat us good.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. I'm going to shut it down.
Yep.
That was amazing. Oh, it's so sad doing that by myself. That was a good episode. You could just feel her passion and energy for the youth center through that whole episode. And I loved editing it. It was an easy edit, which always makes me happy. But the youth center is doing great things in Quinte West, and you can actually go from anywhere. You don't have to be just in Quinte West to utilize the youth center. So if you have youth in Belleville or Brighton that may want to use it, or Frankfurt, wherever, you can use that youth center. So that's great. And they have some great causes and great fundraising events coming up. So go and check that out on their website. It'll be linked in our show notes. What else is going on? Kay and I went to the Quinte Women in Business panel on resilience in the workplace. It was for mental health in the workplace. It was good. And then last night I was at a chamber event. I'm just telling you what I did this week. I did play soccer last night and got my ass handed to me by probably, she looked like 19. The endurance she had was wild, and she was like 5'10", and I'm a solid 5'3" on a good day. So my body is not what it used to be, and I hit the ground hard a couple times. My body hurts today. So that's that. Santa Claus parade season is upon us. I will be at the Brighton Parade tonight and the Belleville Parade on Sunday, which is crazy because it's still November, but the holidays are quickly approaching. So yeah, I don't even know what else to talk about because I'm literally talking to myself. I don't know. What do you guys need me to say? I'll probably just end it because I'm sad that I'm here by myself. But we have some great episodes coming the next couple of weeks. We may be taking 2 weeks off around Christmas. But we'll keep you updated on that. So make sure you follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, Babes of Quinte. And as a plug, we work at Starboard Communications, the home of 95.5 Cool100 in Quinte.ca. You can follow Starboard on socials at Starboard Communication, and give us a follow on LinkedIn because I'm posting there. So yeah, I hope everyone is having a great day and has a great weekend, and we'll catch you next week. Sorry, this was kind of lame, me just talking by myself, but hopefully you kind of liked it, and you're the best. Bye. The Babes of Quinte podcast is recorded and produced at Starboard Communications, home of 95.5 Hits FM, Cool100, and in Quinte.ca.